I live in a pretty small space, so I want to take advantage of all the wall space that I have in the place that I live in. This area right behind me is right above the sink. It gets a lot of reflective lighting. I have windows to the left of this area, and I have a window directly across from this area. See, so my goal for this back wall here is to put up some shelves that I made, and then hopefully take advantage of the fact that they are shelves and put some plants on there. First things first is taking everything off the wall and wiping the wall down. I then used a stud finder to find that my studs were approximately 16 inches apart, which is where I determined my D-rings would go on the shelf. I'm going to be hanging up two 30-inch pine wood shelves, and this is how I made them. Each shelf was composed of 3 pieces of pine, about 30 inches long. The main base was a 1x3, and then I had a smaller piece on the front and then a 1x2 on the back. I wanted to preserve the raw wood look of the wood, so after I sanded it, I treated it with linseed oil. Make sure that when you apply linseed oil to the wood that you do it in a well-ventilated space. Once the wood was completely dry, 3 holes were pre-drilled on the piece of wood that would be flush to the wall, and that was screwed into the main base of the shelf. Some wood glue then was applied to the front of the ledge and then secured with nails. Once everything was secured, the ends of the shelf were clamped until the glue dried. Last but not least, D-ring picture hangers were screwed into the back of the piece of wood that would be flush to the wall, approximately 16 inches apart. After determining where my studs were, I pre-drilled and then I put screws on the studs. And don't forget to level, these are shelves after all. The D-rings weren't exactly the best option, but I made it work by screwing in an L bracket to secure the shelf in place. It's not the prettiest, but I figured that I'd be putting stuff in front of it anyways, so it worked. With both shelves up, now I get to do my favorite thing, which is decorate. I chose to reuse my embroidery hoop because I really liked the shape of it, and then brought in other items that would bring diversity to the silhouette of the top shelf. I love how this glass maple jar is the perfect size to hold my lavender pick. Since I could reach the lower shelf without having to get on a stool, I wanted to be a little bit more playful with the colors and items that were going to be displayed on the shelf. I went shopping around my house and found items that would match the color scheme of the letterboard in the back. I love collecting various shapes and sizes of glass jars and thought that these would be the perfect glasses to start propagating houseplants. For the lower shelf, I played off of the color palette of the letterboard in the back with the cactus and the pink flowers. Isn't he just adorable? I got him and his brother as a salt and pepper set. He's on the bottom shelf and his brother's on the top shelf. This gal here is a piggy bank, an adorable Polaroid of my baby sister, and a drawing that she transferred onto a ceramic plate a few years ago, which goes perfect with the color scheme. And on the very end here, I'm propagating some ZZs. The lowest shelf is approximately 24 inches from the counter, so it leaves a lot of room for trailing plants and for me to put plants underneath the shelves themselves. I love how the raw wood acts as a perfect airy base to all the things on the shelf. I also love that as the seasons change, I can swap items out on the shelf. I hope that this inspires you to add plants, color, and sunshine to your space. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.